What's in the water in Philadelphia? Why everybody's so ornery and then they love each other, then they hug it out? What's going on, Chris? What's happening in that locker room, that city? I don't know what's going on.
I don't think there's anything wrong.
Okay.
Like it's the NFL. Like quarterback 2 weeks ago played like crap, and the passing game was bad. And they asked the receiver, "What do y'all need to improve on?" He said, "Passing."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that definitely raises some alarms, right? Because you're going to interpret that a bunch of ways, and I'm going to interpret it a different way. And then Brandon Graham, who's a dear friend of mine, who actually rolled up to my charity event last Monday night in Philly in the same sweatsuit that he overshared that information. I was like, "Wait, you just came from there? They're talking about this thing." They made some mistakes oversharing. But I think in a lot of ways, the best thing that could have happened. Like Rich, you're married.
Yes.
I'm married.
Yes.
I'm not saying me and my lovely wife ever have any issues, but sometimes in a relationship, you just put the fight off. You put the hard conversation off. And I feel like sometimes you're forced to confront it, and off we go, and I think people don't realize this about the NFL. There's drama going on in every building every week. Every building every week. And so, in Philly, the magnifying glass is huge and the team's very good, including like the Jalen Carter, Nick Sirianni thing on the sideline this weekend, which was nothing. It was like nothing. But we make a big deal out of it because it's the Eagles and because they're one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league right now. And so, I think Nick Sirianni, who's undefeated since he shaved his damn head and gave Dom a headset, is doing a terrific job. And I think like in a week where you have to put that fire out and close the doors and have tough conversations, to come out and beat King Ugly, and I mean that like as a compliment. Tomlin loves to win ugly. And they won ugly against the Steelers in a week where all that was going on, and they force-fed. It was like Jalen was love-bombing AJ on the first touchdown drive. And it's like nothing happened because NFL players can move on. We deal in conflict, controversy. We deal in all this stuff that makes people go, "Oh, what's going on there?" We deal with that all the time. So just because everybody heard about it doesn't mean it's like terrible or it's out of the ordinary. And so like, that's me on my soapbox about like, listen, the passing game needed to get fixed. That was not good enough last week. That was the issue. And they came out and had a good game plan. And that goes a long way in mending some of those issues. So I think the Eagles are doing a pretty good job of keeping those things in-house. You got to remember, most of those guys in that locker room were there last year when they cratered around this time. And the last thing they want is that. They're not going to let anything get in the way of that they can't control. So they could go out and play poorly, but they're not going to let some drama. And I heard this in the media. This is the last thing I'll say, Rich. I'm eating up all your airtime.
All good.
But I heard somebody in the media say, yeah, Philly's got too many all-pros, and with all-pros come egos. First off, egos are absolutely necessary to be great in the NFL. Like, find a Hall of Famer who doesn't have an ego. Like, a healthy ego. I don't mean like egotistical. Secondly, I could go guy by guy in that locker room. The best players on that team are great people. The best player on their team is Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a better human being in the NFL than Saquon Barkley from the outside look?
No, sir.
Lane Johnson's probably the second best player on that team. He's one of my best friends. He's a tremendous human being. He's a great teammate. A.J. Brown, never played with him by all accounts, great teammate. Jalen Hurts, the whole locker room loves him. We go down the list. Zach Bond, I can tell the guy's just happy to be there, man. Quinyon Mitchell, haven't heard him say a word. Cooper DeJean's, they got a great locker room. They really do. And their best players are good people, so they'll work this out. If they lose, it'll be because they're not good on the field. So I'm glad they kind of put that to bed this week.
Chris Long, everybody. Chris friggin' Long. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.